In this view, we will be demonstrating the AP axial foot. The AP axial foot should be performed with the patient seated or lying on the radiographic table, with the image receptor placed tabletop, a 40-inch source-to-image distance, and a 10-degree tube angulation towards the heel. So I have my patient on the table. I have the IR on the table. I have shielded my patient. Her foot is placed down the long axis of the IR. So we're adding a 10-degree cephalic angle centered to the third metatarsal. The 10-degree angle is for the purpose of being perpendicular through the metatarsal joint space. Just get your foot forward just a little bit. We're going to open this collimation up. So 1 inch on either side, making sure you see the shadow of all the digits. Placing a right marker. The patient will hold very still and the exposure is taken. A diagnostic AP axial foot radiograph must be free of motion and rotation. Demonstrated anatomy to include interphalangeal, metatarsal phalangeal, and tarso-metatarsal joint spaces, metatarsal, proximal, middle, and distal phalanges, and portions of the talus and calcaneus with proper visualization of soft tissue and bony detail. In this view, we will be demonstrating the medial oblique foot. The medial oblique foot should be performed with the patient seated or lying on the radiographic table, with the image receptor placed tabletop, a 40-inch source-to-image distance, and no tube angulation. For the medial oblique, there is no angle. It's still at 40 SID. We're still going to center to the third metatarsal, and we're going to rotate the body or the foot inward, medial rotation of 30 degrees. A steep rotation would superimpose the metatarsals. So we're only doing about 30. This will show us the cuboid. We're still centered right there on the third, centering to the IR. And that is the medial oblique of the foot, and we hold very still. A diagnostic medial oblique foot radiograph must be free of motion and a 30-degree rotation. Demonstrated anatomy to include the entire foot, tuberosity of the fifth metatarsal, lateral tarso-metatarsal, and intertarsal joints. Sinus tarsi with proper visualization of soft tissue and bony detail. In this view, we will be demonstrating the lateral foot. The lateral foot should be performed with the patient seated or lying on the radiographic table, with the image receptor placed tabletop, a 40-inch source-to-image distance, and no tube angulation. And the last one is the lateral. It is actually a medial lateral. We're going to turn your knee all the way over here to the side. Central ray goes in the medial side of the foot and it exits the lateral side. We want to flex the foot, and we're going to bring your knee all the way over, so you're going to roll through your hip a little bit. So we are turning the IR, so the long axis of the anatomy is with the long axis of the IR. Central ray is at the base of the third metatarsal. Keeping the collimation open at about 1 inch on either side, leaving a room for the marker. And you will see the foot in profile here. The patient needs to hold very still. A diagnostic lateral foot radiograph must be free of motion and rotation. Demonstrated anatomy to include the entire foot and distal leg, with the fibula overlapping the posterior portion of the tibia. Superimposed plantar surfaces of the metatarsal heads with an open tibio-talar joint with proper visualization of soft tissue and bony detail.
If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to visit cloverlearning.com and explore our robust selection of video-based courses, certification exam prep question banks, and continuing education resources. Lastly, please remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on our latest videos.